What is up, guys? What is up? Coos and Coos' Corner. I see you're first in line. What is up, guys? Let's wait for some people to come in. Let's see if some people. Lizdle said he's first to light Coos. What's up, guys? So we got some good news today, obviously, on the basketball side of things. This is a football channel. Why am I talking about football on what looks like a basketball ruling? Well, talking to some people, and guys, this doesn't only affect basketball. This affects everyone. Now, luckily, we're in the winter portion, right, of it all. Everybody liked the video really quick, too. Let's get some steam picked up on this thing if you can. Pop out and like it if you have to. At the end of the day, though, that means anybody can transfer, guys, and this can affect us positively and negatively, right? So that means two-time transfers, no matter where you're at, can play immediately. That means people can transfer again and be eligible immediately. Now, with this 14-day ruling, obviously, nobody knows what the future holds, but anybody can transfer right now and have no consequence, right? I think that's something that not a lot of people thought about with this. I think everybody's kind of looking at, holy shit, Noah Farrakhan and Raequan Battle are eligible to play. We've got a Final Four level guards in West Virginia, and we definitely do. And I can't wait to talk about that. Unfortunately, my mind goes to the negative too often, much like Coos does. We talk about this often. And all I can think about is, holy shit, this means anybody can transfer. And this is NCAA wide, guys. Anybody, Alabama, Wake Forest, West Virginia, you can transfer. And I don't think we yet know what the ramifications of this will be. It's definitely the Wild West, no doubt about that. It's definitely thrilling to put this ticket to the NCAA like this a little bit, and I'm glad between Sean Austin and Raequan Battle, we basically destroyed the NCAA, right? And more info keeps leaking out little by little. It seems like the NCAA is okay with this ruling for the 14-day span, and then we'll see what happens again. I'm hearing that they're probably going to appeal this, but to me, I still think more. There's more to be had when it comes to this ruling. Uh, who could West Virginia possibly get another transfer in basketball? You think about, could they get another body in? Could they even go after somebody else? Then it has entered the transfer portal. That's a two-time transfer for this window. I mean, you've got to be open to all options, right? Why couldn't you? So there's that aspect of it. Then there's also the aspect of, oh, wait, that means all of our players are eligible to be poached. Oh, wait. Now we had some guys sign into the Country Roads Trust and commit for the season, most of the offense. And I got to be honest, that's exciting for me, but doesn't mean that they can't still be poached. And the two-time transfer rule is kind of because nobody wants to waste their first transfer, right? And especially if you like a Tomiwa, right, Durajayi, a guy like that who's already transferred once, he could leave without consequence now, seemingly, because the judge has imposed. This is the biggest part. The NCAA can't retroactively impose anything for this 14-day window, and I would assume that means transfers or people that play. That's wild to me. Am I the only one that's worried about this? I haven't seen many people. Maybe people haven't gotten around to this part of it yet. But this is where my head goes. So, all right, what's up, Markets and Moto, Jacob Yoho, Mountaineer J Dub, Lizdle Barnes, what's up? Let me know down in the comments, guys. How are you feeling? It says there's 31 of you in here. Let me know how you're feeling about this. while I'm happy too, Kenny, I'm still a little worried about this, and I just want to see where it's going to go. It could have obviously benefit us, but there is no doubt that it could come back to bite us. In other news, guys, obviously the huge news: Trey Lathan, Ben Cutter are part of the Country Roads Trust now, and to me, man, that's Trey Lathan was the number one guy, right? In the offseason, when you looked at it, you thought we got to lock him up because we know our linebacker. So I'm really glad that we got those guys locked up. That's huge for the future of the program. Obviously, the back end of the defense with Aubrey and the rumors surrounding Aubrey Burks right now um, are disheartening. But we just kind of have to hope that the coaches can do their job, and they're always actively recruiting our own players, right? So to me, I look at it like nothing's in stone until their name's in the portal, and even then they can come back. Mountaineer J Dub said, "I feel like it'll be the wild. It'll be wild to see what happens within the 14-day window. Lot can change and benefit WVU, but could bite us in the ass." Watching, what are we watching? Shane says, "Yes, if they lose the case, then they are eligible next year." What are you talking about? That's not true, actually. If you're talking about, you might want to explain what you're saying first. But if you're talking about if Raequan Battle plays, how did he get the WU script? Actually, he's a good dude, man. He and I have been talking some here the last few days. He's most definitely legitimate. He does have a source inside the program, and I don't want to say anything more, but he's legit. I'll give him that because I traded some info with him to get in with him. That's kind of how I do things. Like I went to him and said, "Hey, here's some info." Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you. I told him yesterday that Trey Lathan was going to be back to for today. Um, and he can confirm that. And then so we traded some info, but so kind of got in with him a little bit, because you always want to test the waters and see if somebody's legit. And he is. So, yep, Mountaineer Jade, appreciate that, bro. But so, but as far as what are we watching Shane goes, this 14-day window is untouchable by the NCAA. They can't retroactively punish anybody for anything really that I know of as far as playing or transferring goes during this window. Now, I'm not a legal expert, so I don't know in the future if they could change that or if that's subject to change. But generally speaking, I believe that, pretty much it's the wild, wild west for 14 days. Guys like Dion in Colorado and guys, anybody that's got a deep pockets will be, once they get word of this, because I don't think everybody is really um, on top of this as much as maybe once word gets around to the players, especially that there's no consequence for this, and maybe some coaches will sit down and have a conversation. But I think a lot of coaches are going to try to pretend like this doesn't exist and hope the players don't find out, because it's only 14 days long. And so maybe after the 14 days, something else could happen. Always good to have an inside contact. You're right, man. You're right. Well, it's either the Raequan Battle situation, Tyler, or the Trey Lathan. And I don't know which tweet you're talking about. You might have to tell me, but I don't follow every single tweet that he has. Uh, I check on stuff he does sometimes. Uh, Normally, I'll just ask him though. But if you're talking about, there was a couple we put out, but the only ones I saw were Lathan and Cutter. and then the Raequan Battle thing. So maybe there's something else that I don't know about. But yeah, I mean, there it could have been a commit, uh, but he's pretty much detailed that over the last couple of days, unless there's something today going on. To be honest, with everything that's been going on, that's been something that I have not checked up on today with a couple people. So it's so much. Don't one person can't do all this, guys. Like whenever you're like me or Coos, um, and you do this is what I do for a living. You guys, I tell you that all the time. Um, it's impossible without help to check up on all this stuff, which is why I collaborate with so many people. Like Jordan from Country Roads Webcast and Coos and me have a group chat where we keep track of all the portal entries and ins and outs of that. And that helps having something like that to go and reference without having to go look it up an article somewhere or try to remember. But outside of that, man, it's all me. So this Raequan Battle thing, I sat and listened to it for like 40 minutes. But then I was having trouble cashing the check that our sponsor sends us here for this show. And then I had to drive around for 40 minutes trying to find their bank. So I've just been busy as hell today. Nobody cares about any of this stuff. You want to be added to the chat? Uh the chat. Talking about the chat between me and Coos and Jordan. If you're willing to help us keep track of that stuff, man, absolutely. We all do different things. Like my job is to try to contact the players, and that's something I'm good at. Usually, I can usually elicit responses from players, not all of them. And then I also add players to we have a Google Docs we go to and then add names and stuff. If you want to, man, I'll definitely make I'll talk to the other guys, but I don't think it'd be a big deal to add you for sure. So why do they open the portal for 14 days? They already know if they want to transfer, in my opinion. The portal being open 2 to 4 days is plenty of time for them to enter the portal. Well, this affects people who've already transferred once, and um, or people who've transferred twice, even. So, like JT Daniels, let's say he wasn't a graduate, wanted to transfer again, he could. Or like Tomiwa Durajai, who was on our defensive line, who transferred here from Kentucky, he could transfer again without consequence now for this 14-day span. At least from my understanding of what's going on. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's from people I've checked with. That's exactly what this means. This 14-day window means there's no rules. That's the thing. There's no rules right now for 14 days. They need to create a contract that athletes have to sign when they commit that makes them agree to a large penalty / fine if they want to break the contract in order to transfer. The problem with that is there's no way you're going to get, Sam, a contract that works both ways. That's friendly for the university and the player. In my opinion, you couldn't have all that for the university and nothing for the player. You know what I'm saying? So, because I asked Stephen Ford on my show the other day, I said, "Hey, Stephen Ford is the COO of Country Roads Trust, RNIL people." And I said, "Hey, why don't we sign people to multi-year deals on NIL? It's always just 1 year. What do you guys just come re-up to the table every year?" And at the end of the day, it is because of that. If I sign somebody to a 2-year NIL deal with one of our sponsors, quoting him, paraphrasing, and then he transfers, it gets messy at that point, right? Or if we sign them to a 2-year deal and they don't hold up to their end of the deal on the field, let's say, or they get injured, now we still have to pay them for something that they either suck at or can't do. So the contract thing, it's difficult. Which, I mean, obviously that happens in the NFL, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows in the NFL either when it comes to these contracts and the players. In the league and college, sometimes they have a lot of pull and leverage. So it's pay for play now and should be treated that way. Make them sign binding contracts. Yeah, kind of answered that. Tavita Finau to play against UMass Saturday. Get out of here, Grant Wiley. Wouldn't that be crazy, man? We got one already. This is James, but I can send you my article link that is updated daily. Sure, man. Absolutely. I knew who you were, by the way. The beard, man. Do you think Noah is also going to be playing during these 14 days? Okay, so I did get an update on that, Troy. Basically, it's up to him. He can play. He's allowed to, absolutely, but it's up to him. So I know that's a basketball question, but I'm going to answer it. So remember, guys, this is a football channel. I'll try to keep it on that. But if we go off on basketball here and there, this is a weird one because it has to do with everything to me. So yeah, everybody pop out real quick if you don't care, just so we get some traction, please. I'm asking if everybody can just pop out and hit the like button for me so that I can get this video out to a wider audience. That way people can know I don't just do West Virginia stuff. I try to do everything. I try to be involved with national stuff if I can. And to me, this is a this is a national deal. If you're at Alabama, if you're at Wake Forest, if you're at Clemson, if you're at North Dakota State, you can transfer right now for 2 weeks. Don't matter if you transferred 1, 2, or 10 times. And that means no consequence. To me, that's impactful for a lot of reasons. Number one, because the coaches are going to lose even more control. Number two, the players are going to have more control and maybe be able to make more money. And three, it can affect us here at West Virginia, and that's kind of what we don't want. In the negative, we'll take all the 3-4 time transfers we can get if they can help us. But at the end of the day, and on basketball, could Josh Allen go out and say, "Hey, you guy that have transferred twice, or you're still in the portal, but you've transferred twice, so nobody's taken you on yet. Come play for us this year at West Virginia. It's a 2-week window." There's all kinds of different ways this shit could go. They also don't know they want to transfer. There are lots of things to consider. He's eligible now. Tavita is eligible. 14 days of mayhem. That rule was created this past off season, I believe. Maybe the year. I think it's this past off season, Lizdle, because of the unlimited transfers in the beginning were killing everybody. Boom, light. Need to either deny all waivers or accept all waivers, make everything transparent. Well, and the thing is I like the way the guy on the broadcast put it. They've moved the goalpost, right, on Raequan a couple different times. Hey, this is what you really got to do. Or, one time it was, well, we don't believe you transferred to West Virginia because it makes no sense because you're from Montana, right? And so he said, well, because the head coach at West Virginia lived on an Indian reservation, and we made that connection. They said, well, no, your mental health stuff, right? And so then it was that. And so there's been a couple other things that I don't even think they've released yet. No, Tyler, I stay out of the rumor mill when it comes to that stuff because here's the deal, bro. It may be happening. And some of you guys may want to stand up to Ole Miss and their DB coach. That's fine. But at the end of the day, our coaches have the opportunity until his name is in the portal to re-recruit and secure Aubrey Burks, right? So I won't believe it until I see it. That's just how I look at it. There may be people that talk to him directly that he said he's leaving to. I know that. I know people that say that. So what I'm saying is I don't want to make it harder on the coaches than it has to be by outing him on social media. Now he probably won't even play in the bowl game, as to where before it looked like we at least had him for the bowl game and this huge depth issue that keeps coming up. probably wouldn't have happened. But now people kind of forced his hand a little bit because they got angry. Um, it just kind of sucks, you know what I mean? And I'm not pointing the finger at any one person. Just generally, I think the rumor got out there and people got upset and said a couple things, you know. So it's just something I don't engage with for those reasons. Thanks, Dylan Lester. Thank you, Kenny. Thanks, J Dub. Colorado was in on the suit. Thank you, David Cummings, channel member. I'm wrong, let me know. Dion is foaming at the mouth right now. He was definitely watching this. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think we will see things stay calm right now. And then around the 5, 7, 8 day window, we will see shit pick up and go crazy. Well, I think, basically, once the once the word gets out, right? It was after Battle transferred, yes, Mark, but it was still in the off season. I'm talking in football terms, but you're right. It is after he transferred. Thanks, Bleeding Gold and Blue. Appreciate that. Absolutely, it does. It does, Kenny. You're right. The mistake the NCAA made was enacting the rule immediately. They should have made the rule, then given a year or two before it came active. Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. And that's another thing. Yeah, something that been brought up is I think this rule actually happened after he was in the portal. So that's another thing. You're right. So all he would have had to have done is just been on the team, right? It's kind of stupid. Um, don't forget, guys, super chat button is down below if you'd like to donate to the channel. I say it every time I'm on, at least once. This is what I do for a living. If you want to support that or appreciate what I do, I really appreciate it, guys. Also, the channel member. If you want to join me as a channel member, there are 2 tiers. There is Mountaineer Insider and Mountaineer Fanatic. If you want to be a part of either one of those, they each have their own perks, but those are in the middle getting reworked. So as of right now, not a whole lot going on with the perks, guys, but I promise I will get it fixed. Made a decision based on the old rule. Yeah. 69 watching. Nice. I feel as if Dion is too. Yeah, and so coaches like Dion, who, let's be honest, started out 4-0, ended 0-8. Dion's not the kind of guy to accept losing, right? He's not going to lose forever. I mean, at least he's not going to have bad players. Whether they put a good team out there, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But he's going to have good players. Thank you, Randall. Really appreciate it, brother. Just joined. Does Battle get to play this Saturday? He does. Raequan Battle will be playing for the Mountaineers this Saturday. You can bet your bottom dollar. Uh, I hate to think of it like that, Kenny, but I'm not saying you're wrong, So, but basically, guys, yeah, that's basically how it works, Lizdle. That's what happened. He was in the portal. Then the rule came about, and they still didn't. Yeah, it's pretty wild, isn't it? Well, average have you seen that Noah put anything out? Because from what I've been told from my source and my sources in the basketball program, they're going to leave it up to Noah. That's been the prevailing thought. And they're 9 games into the season, and he likely won't start unless they move to a 3 guard lineup which is, listen, Kirk Reese, Raequan Battle, Noah Farrakhan, Jesse Edwards, and Quinn Slazinski is a terrific starting 5. Don't get me wrong. But he might also have to come off the bench, right? So which one is it? I don't know. So I think that's something that they're going to have a conversation with him about. Now, if anybody has any knowledge, if anything's come out since I've been on here, if Farrakhan has said anything, I'm all ears. I'm glad to hear that, Randall. Messing with WVU years, they have, John. Yeah. Um, here's the thing, Tyler. So there is language in the ruling that says the NCAA cannot retroactively punish during the 14-day window. So that means that no matter what happens here, he won't lose a red shirt, anything. So, yeah, right. It just all depends on where Noah's head is. I think, logically he should play, but is he in shape? Does he feel like he can put his best game out there on tape? There's a lot of questions that, kind of go into it. You've got to check on. I mean, has he even been practicing with the team? Um, listen, I want him to play, but I just don't know. And until he does, I'll probably be questioning it like in a little negative way. Get him on the court, baby. They made this transfer limit rule, gave a grace period before enacting, and probably would have avoided all this litigation. This poor leadership of the NCAA. Well, that's been a thing for a long time now, Lizdell, unfortunately. So yeah, but at the end of the day, guys, anybody can transfer. That's what I want to get here and talk about, and the possible ramifications of that. I have a couple of things I have to do, so I'm going to get ready to hop off here. If anybody has a direction they want to take the conversation in before I go, certainly a super chat would convince me to do so. But otherwise, I'm going to bounce and get some food and relax for the evening. I have another football video planned and another basketball video planned. So there's a couple of things I still have to do, guys. But I wanted to talk about this because I feel like it's a big deal. The possible let's see what happens over the next 14 days, guys. Because I think it could be wild. It really could. I'm excited. That is all. You give him the same allowance to practice as both Kerr and Battle. If so, he could be ready to play this Saturday, but we will see. Yeah, I know he's been practicing a little bit, but when you know you're not playing, Cody, it's not the same level of intensity. I just want to know where his head's at and all. This is a lot for a kid to get hit with all at once, going from not playing to. And now maybe they've been telling him behind the scenes. Maybe they felt good about the case and they've known for a couple of weeks. We'll find out. I'm going to try my best to find out before the day's over with where his head's at on it. So, all right, guys, y'all have a good evening. Thanks for jumping on real quick with me. Before everybody goes, please hit the like button for me, man. It meant a lot. Share the video too if you got time, any of you, just to share it out. Really appreciate it, man. Trying to do what I can do, right? All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night. This was in a Mountaineer Paul episode just for you. This episode's over. I'm out.